All right, guys, welcome to Big Marv's Network. It is my new show where we are featuring fellow entrepreneurs around the globe, getting their message out there, seeing what they bring into the community. So, in the time it takes to smoke a blunt, we're going to get to know someone.
Oh, wow. See, I should have had something to drink. Now you talking about smoking a blunt? No, I like that.
I mean, hey, if you want to go get something to drink real quick, feel free.
Yeah, one quick second. I always got bottles.
While we wait for Jigga Jones to get his bottle, how's everybody doing out there in the digital land? Do me a favor, if you're watching this live, go ahead and comment live. If you're watching the replay, comment replay.
Yeah, I didn't know this thing was going to be on the video because if I knew it was video, I had to take my shirt off because I was wearing a different shirt that was very, I wouldn't want to embarrass you on there.
So for those of y'all that are curious,
I had the N-word shirt on. I'm like, oh no, Marv might show this to his friend. They might get mad and riot in his house where you be living.
Fuck it, I don't give a fuck. So for those of y'all that are wondering, today we got on the show Jigga Jones. He is an internet personality spreading his own unique message to the people out there in the world. Go ahead, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, I'm Jigga Jones, number one. I can't say. Well, I don't know if I say that on your radio show.
You say whatever the fuck you want. We're unfiltered.
Okay. Well, I used to go by Jigga Jones, number one nigger in America, because the two most powerful words when you did a search on Google back in the day were nigger and toner, and both of which were black. So I decided to capitalize on that. And, I sold over 1 million DVDs by just saying I'm the number one nigger in America because everybody was searching for it anyway. So when they popped up the word nigger, I was the first thing that popped up, And so they were like, I got to see this DVD. And it was only, and this is back when people used to buy DVDs. So, they sold over 1 million DVDs, and it was crazy. And so then I was on the radio up here in Vegas, and Al Charlatan said that the word jigaboo was offensive. Remember, they took old boy Imus off the radio and all that stuff. And my grandfather called me jigaboo, because that's got its own story to it too.
That shit's hilarious. I don't even know the story, but it sounds hilarious.
Oh yeah, man. Because my grandmother, she was like real clean with the house and everything. We was kids, me and my cousin, and she gave us some watermelon to eat, but she said you guys got to go outside and eat it. Because, we kids make a mess. You know kids make a mess.
Oh, yeah.
So we sitting on the front porch. And you got to remember, my grandfather was from, like, Yazoo, Mississippi. So he comes home from work and see two niggas sitting outside eating watermelon. He was pissed. He was so mad. We couldn't be as mad. We was like, I don't want to put y'all eating watermelon. That's ever since then I was jigaboo, But yeah, so that's where the name came from. People said, oh, white people named you Jigaboo. No, they didn't, and so it stuck. And then so anyway, after a while on the radio, Al Charlatan said Jigaboo was offensive. Jigaboo ain't offensive to nobody since the 1940s. But they all of a sudden I had to be Jigga Jones to drop the boo because boo scares people, So they made me get rid of that on the radio. So I had to start over. I had built this big following. I was one of the first YouTubers to get over 1 million followers, 1 million subscribers. It was the first time it ever happened. Because I was doing stupid stuff on the internet, and I didn't realize you could get arrested for what you do on it. Because back then you couldn't get arrested for what was on the internet. Nobody believed in it, You could hit somebody in the head at the ATM and take their money and post it online, and people would laugh, and you never would have a case. Well, today you can't do nothing online without the police or some armchair detective filling something out. So yeah, that's where, you know, there's a bunch of videos out there that, you know, where, you know, I did something and then they came back later on me like 2 years later. So yeah, I did a bunch of stuff. You know, I stand up for freedom of speech because I don't think that everything is racist. You know, I don't buy the narrative that black people are held down, because if that was true, you wouldn't have a billionaire black woman, you know, named Oprah. You know, if the system was against everybody, you wouldn't have an Oprah. You wouldn't have a Will Smith. They wouldn't exist. Samuel L. Jackson wouldn't exist. If the country was so racist as they say it is, these people would not have
Denzel Washington. I said we wouldn't have Denzel Washington.
Hell no, you wouldn't. But you know, it's easier. And I know some people, man. I know some people have been to jail for doing dumb shit they shouldn't have done. But yet they blame everybody but themselves. You know, oh, it's the system. Oh, it's this politician. It's that mayor. It's the police. You know, others say, hey man, you hit a dude in the head and took their money on camera. That's why you're in jail. Yeah, but who invented that camera? The white man. That's what they did. You know. So
I've
been saying that kind of stupid crap all the time. Yeah, and I spend a lot of time in and out of jail. You know, till you figure it out.
So your goal is to utilize comedy, but you're touching on like you know, political subjects, or like just trying to make people keep themselves accountable. Like what do you do there with your comedy?
Well, yeah, there was a big thing that was going around where some boys that I knew were hitting tourists real hard in the LA area. This is back in the day, like when cell phones were new, they would take a GPS device and stick it in the trunk of a car. And then they'd rent a car, put a GPS device in the trunk, make a copy of the keys, and then turn the rental car back in. So here in LA, you know, these rental cars, they'd be recycling every weekend. So dudes would get in their laptops and trace these GPS devices wherever they was parked at. And, you know, we have a rental car. Where do you put your valuables? In the trunk. So you got the trunk key. They got their car parked. You bust the trunk open. You take a laptop. You take a suitcase and all this stuff. And so I'll tell you, I thought it was kind of fucked up. So I put a video out of me showing how to do this. Pissed a lot of gang members off. You know, they got mad at me. Stop showing people this. Stop showing people this. Well, I say, hey, man, I think we should show people this, because people didn't want to come to the city because they were getting ripped off and didn't know it. You on a trip. You know, you got so many moving parts in the trip. You got your kids over here, your suitcase over here. You got a rental car. You got a hotel room. You're trying to get to Disneyland, and all of a sudden you turn around. Well, where's the laptop? I leave it. Kids get blamed for that. Oh, did you put the laptop in the trunk? Yes, I did. No, you didn't. It's not here. You know, but they didn't know that the nigga had found their car parked in Disneyland parking lot and took all their shit out. You know, you don't notice it. So I put videos out showing that. When they were stealing from people's garages real hardcore, I did a video showing people the garages and safe that I could break into your garage with a coat hanger, you know. And so, you know, a lot of like gang members didn't like me because I was exposing what motherfuckers was doing to make money. Can I cuss on here? Did I have to mess you up or what?
No, you good. You good.
Okay. So I did a lot of stuff like that, you know, and you know, the hardcore gang members didn't like me because I was exposing stuff, and they didn't like that. But I thought it was funny, because if you could educate the average square through comedy, you show them something that's funny, and they laugh at it, they go, damn, I'll never do that again. I thought that was cool, you know, and it wasn't until we started showing people about how you could rip off a car with a coat hanger back in the day that, you know, the police commissioner, you know, I got arrested on some bullshit thing, you know, doing stupid stuff when you were drinking. And police commissioner pulled aside and says, hey, I see what you're doing on YouTube. And says, you know, if you work with us, I would love to do some stuff with you. So that big grand police chase that you saw that went through Long Beach was training for the police. You know, you see like 50 cop cars behind the car and all that, you know. So they said that we could film for YouTube doing it. And so we had like a partnership between the LAPD and us, and we was doing comedy videos, and you see the police in the back window, the lights going, you know, and we
just educating people with the police.
Yeah. And the police were training, learning how not to shoot everybody that they stop. And for us, we was getting a laugh. We was laughing like Scooby-Doo villains. And this was back when YouTube was paying us. And so we did pretty good with that. I'm boring you with this. What am I talking about here?
So what are you doing now? Are you still trying to partner up with people to utilize comedy videos to try to educate on these subjects?
Yeah, I want to do more of that. I took a little bit of a break. I was making some money, so I kind of got lazy. You know how people do.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of sitting back, and it got to a point where now, I've been banned off every platform. Way before Alex Jones got banned, Jigga Jones got banned. Back in 2010, you Google Compton Cookout. We used to have these things called Nigga Night, where we would have Hollywood makeup teams come out. You saw Tropic Thunder, turn everybody into a black person for a party. Everybody was black, and you couldn't tell who was and wasn't black only by looking in their ears to see the little white, because they wouldn't paint in your ear. But man, we had this little skinny white dude did a Lil Wayne impression. It was the funniest thing we ever seen, man. Everybody had a good time. All the races were together. Nobody was offended. And I think the powers that be didn't like that. They didn't like races to come together. They want to divide the races up. They want to say, you're a black person, you're a Hispanic person, you're a white person. You guys have to have your own little groups. And as the groups, okay, you're a gay guy, you're a straight guy, you're a dude who wants to be a woman, you're a woman who thinks you're a man. Let's split everybody up. We had everybody together partying and having no problems. And I think that was what the problem was. They didn't like that.
So you're creating videos that are fulfilling what would it be like racial profiling, basically, where people are saying, that isn't really an issue, but you're taking these issues and highlighting them in these videos on purpose, using comedy to basically spread awareness about it. I get that, right?
Pretty much. Once people realize, and I've got some dudes, you laugh, the people from whitepower.com used to be really good friends with me because I showed them that we're the same. The dude who drives the truck, who acts stupid, who drinks beer and drives dumb, there's black people that do that too. As soon as I showed the hardcore rednecks that there was black people and Hispanics who did the same thing, they flew out here to, at the time I was living in LA, they flew out to Compton to come meet me. The dude, Steve Meistrap, and the dude that ran whitepower.com, came out and met with us there in Compton, drank with us and laughed. And you're talking about a dude that was Mr. Nazi man and all that crap, and the hey niggas and every whole thing. He had a good time, and he really admitted that he had listened to some stuff, and it turned out not to be really what it was, because he watched all the movies and TV, and then when he came out and hung out with us, he was smoking dope and hanging out and drinking, and he had a good time, and he realized that he is having just the same kind of good time that he was having with us that he has with his boys, and then he basically shut that whole whitepower.com bullshit down. After that, it just shut it down.
No shit.
Yeah, you look at it as going today. He shut that bullshit down. He's raising his kids, man.
Well, that's funny. Like, when you get older, you realize more and more, like, what's important. Like, you develop your why, your sense of purpose, why you wake up every day to really push yourself to go further. Yeah. If you don't mind sharing with the audience, what's your why? Like, what motivates you every day to get out there and spread your message?
Okay, well, when I was little, I was raised up by some people in the street, and I did a bunch of stupid crap. Burglarizing houses, robbing cars, gambling with folks, street gambling, crooked gambling, and all that stuff. And now, I look at it, there's so much opportunity for people, of any color, of any age, of any, socioeconomic status, that you don't need to do that shit no more. You can find out what's important. I found this out. The dude was telling me about the computers, and they had that fill in the work program for LA, where I could get out of jail if I learned how to use a computer. And I was like, okay, I'll use a computer. Jeez, I might be able to take some credit cards with it. So once we found all that out, and I said, wow, I said, people don't have to risk getting shot stealing shit from people that can't afford you to take their shit. because you can put a video together, do an ad. I've done a couple of them ads, and I just did one for a scooter shop here in Las Vegas. You can do a little ad. You put the digital ad out there, and you can narrow it on down where you don't need to be a crook to make good money now. The time is where you can get on this computer, man, and you can put you some digital ads out there, and you learn that showcase. If you do the YouTube thing, do the YouTube thing. If you're doing the faggot book or Facebook, whatever, you can do that. Snapchat's got a pretty good advertising platform on it. So yeah, if you get, and I had this thing called SaveBlackBoys.org where we show these young kids how to do exactly the same thing. We show them about digital ads, YouTube ads, all that stuff. So going to that Billie Jean conference, in September helped me sharpen the pencil of my game. I was doing pretty good. I was doing like a dull Sharpie doing it, and I was 50% right, 50% wrong. And went to his thing there, and man, sharpened that up, and now it's like anytime I hit it, it's like boom, it's out the park.
So you would say your why is, watching your community and fellow people that you're helping, be able to change and utilize these skill sets to, basically craft the life they want to live versus having to pick up old habits or, bad habits, being a crook and shit, trying to make money.
Yeah, you don't need to do that shit.
You just hustle on a laptop now.
That's it. And you ain't got to hurt nobody. You could be totally legit. And you can hang your head up and not have to worry every time you get on a plane when they run your license. You don't have to be looking at motherfuckers be like, oh, like, here you go. Don't hand it to nobody. Or going to the post office, you don't want to see your picture hanging out. I mean, that's what people was afraid of, especially the hood, because they had the 10 most notorious gang members hanging up, and you didn't want your face to be. You walking in there. That's why I wear glasses to this day. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but all right, well, go ahead and tell the people where they can find you, and so they can follow you and take a look at your content. And
they finally let me back onto Instagram. I was banned off of Instagram for 2 years, and they finally let me back on it. Jigga 2 Jones, Jigga the number 2, and then Jones on it. Or you just search for the Guru of the Ghetto, because that's my new PC title, because NBC wasn't going to stand behind number 1 nigga in America. They didn't like it. It was like, no, we're not pushing it. And then we changed it to Negro of the World. They said, no. And so we had to come up with Guru of the Ghetto. And that was my original name when I was doing radio up in over there, KRBZ in Kansas City. They wouldn't let you say jigaboo. They wouldn't let you say nigga. You couldn't say nothing. So Guru of the Ghetto is all I could be,
Okay. So Jigga 2 Jones on Instagram. You got a YouTube channel?
Yeah, that's it. Jigga 2 Jones.
Jigga 2 Jones. There you go. He knows this thing.
Well, I got tired of, like, when you get somebody on Facebook, it's Devin Riley, and you try to find them on Instagram, and you looking for Devin Riley, you don't see him. You see the hot man of the desert. Like, how the hell is that?
Yeah, exactly.
I said, damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you look up Marv at Night, it's Marv at Night on every platform. So. And
that's what I started doing. Just Jigga 2 Jones. The Jigga 2 sounds like Jigaboo, and people remember.
All right. Any last words for the audience before we cut out of here?
Well, tell people to hang out with Big Marv, because Big Marv is doing it right, and he's keeping it tight, because he believes in motherfuckers, and that's why I like this dude. All the people that came in his bare feet to the thing there, the Big Marv was the dude. He was real from like beginning to end, and that's why I like Big Marv as my friend. You would too.
And on that note, guys, thanks for tuning in to Big Marv's Network. Don't forget to tune in next week, where we'll be meeting another exciting entrepreneur and getting some more messages out there. I'll see you guys later. Thanks again, Jigga, for being on the show. One love, guys.